Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to the channel of upright men and women. Today I'm going to be touching on two topics. Normally I touch on one topic per video, but this time I'm touching on two because they are two fairly straightforward and simple topics. And there are some extremely profound lessons to be learned from these two issues. And I can say this from now. You know what the sad point is? The majority of people for whom this video is meant will not even click on it because this is not a booger yaga mix-up topic, and most people are just not interested in learning anything, which is sad really. So I can predict from now that out of my 43,000 subscribers, only about 400 will watch it till the end, which means 1%. Big up yourself, 1% of intellectuals. You will benefit from this. There's always something here to be learned. And the benefits of watching this video to the end are enormous. Because, as I always said, knowledge is power. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to listen to this news clip. It came on TVJ yesterday, pertaining to a little youth, 9 years old, who his mother was bleaching his skin because she thinks him too black.
We meet a brave 9-year-old boy who shares a story no child should have to tell.
It's one where his mother is bleaching his skin because she says he's too black.
Ramada Lyons has the details.
Inside a grade 3 classroom, some students were probably being asked about homework. But when the teacher saw this 9-year-old boy's face, the questions prompted were different, more serious.
What happened to your face? Are you bleaching?
His response, alarming.
And my mother bleached me. She said me too black.
Around his eyes are visibly darker than his face, and his cheeks lighter. The boy, who says he likes to play Minecraft, feels as though his mother has crafted a hatred for his skin in his mind.
I don't think that others should make them children bleach. I tell my mother, said I did not want it anymore, but she said it took a bit to black them come off. I'm telling my granny insists.
He recalled the first time his mother rubbed the cream on his skin. He remembers the feel, the scent, and her conviction to make him brighter.
When I touched my face was kind of smooth. She said the reason why she do it because I was getting too black, and she never liked it that I was getting too black, so she put it on me and I started turning white.
This boy's teacher said she reached out to his mother regarding the situation several times. However, she has not turned up to the school. In the meantime, the boy says his classmates have noticed.
When you carry me and the class outside to look about the shapes, Radhika told me that when I come out in the sun, my face was shining, but she said when I go into the class, it stopped.
I asked him where his mother would apply the cream, and he pointed all over his face, saying,
And it is.
And when?
In the morning when I come into school, it let me feel like my face I get too smooth, and then when I put my hand on my face last time, my face is I get kind of rough and tough.
Guys, can you imagine that? But trust me, there are thousands of women who think this way, and the only reason why they don't bleach their kids is because they feel that the society or the community in which they live would condemn them. But for this woman to throw caution to the wind and risk it all to bleach her son's skin, it shows deep-seated self-loathing. Not even self-hating, but self-loathing. First of all, and such self-loathing do not come upon a person overnight. This is something that had to have been ingrained inside that person's mind from birth or from very early age. Now, I'm listening to hear what the parents, now I'm listening to hear what the authorities are doing about this. Because first of all, this child should be taken out of her care. There is no way that any child should be left alone with this individual. She is clearly a danger to the child, and not only that, this individual is a danger to herself. Now, not only should this child be taken away, but any other child that's under her control should also be taken away and never given back. Because clearly, as a parent, she will never, if you reach this stage so far beyond the pale that you would have bleached your young 9-year-old, it is impossible that you will ever reach a stage in your life where you can be a good parent. Because you yourself is a baby. And not only should these children be taken away, but she should be taken into a medical facility and perform an operation that sterilizes her for life. She should never be allowed to produce any more kids, ever. And she should never be left alone with her child or children. Any visit she going to have until the child is 18 must be supervised. We talk about babies having babies. Well, this is a clear case of babies having babies. I'll be doing a follow-up on this story to see what happens, and then I'll be putting up for the world to see. But I'm saying this is a drastic situation which calls for drastic measures. Child services, where are you? Child services, where are you? Follow it up and see where it goes. The public want to know. The public has to know. Now, on to the second topic. It came out in today's news that 70% of students leaving Pembroke Hall High School cannot read. Yeah man, 7 out of every 10 can't read. Now, the question is, have teachers failed? Or have the education system failed? I doubt that very much. And in order to explain, I'm going to use an analogy. This is very profound, so listen carefully. As you know, in Jamaica, somehow we throw a partner. And I'm using partner book because most of you can relate to it. Now, partner books has to be printed on regular cardstock. It cannot have any sheen at all whatsoever on it. If it has any sheen, you cannot write anything on it. No matter how expensive the pen, no matter how technologically advanced that pen is, it simply cannot write on glossy paper. The writing just cannot soak into the ink. It just floats on the surface. And the ink virtually doesn't come off. And if little come off on the paper, once you take your hand and rub it, it's smudged and it's gone. The point I'm making here is, you can print partner book on glossy paper and get to people. And when them fail to write on it and make them records in it, you are going to blame the people who are trying to write on it. Understand what I'm saying? Let me break it down. If you send dunce picnic with head tough, them can't learn, nothing can hold them in them head. Kids who have absolutely no aptitude for learning, it is next to impossible for the teacher, no matter how good the educational system is, it cannot make them learn. Korea, China, Japan, France, those countries have some of the most advanced classes and learning. And if you take them picnic and carry them in one of those countries with the best, world best teachers, nothing still not gonna come out of them. Why? Them born with them head tough. Sorry to say it, but in 9 out of 10 cases, that is it. So, how did we get there? Well, you people always hear me speak about eugenics, and that we as human beings need to be careful who we share body fluids with. Me preach that man in noon and night. People, genetics is real. Heredity is real. And as we say in Jamaica, you can't plant peas and get corn. You can't take up a dunce partner and have a picnic with that dunce partner and I expect to get bride picnic. There, I said it. People might not like it, but there you go. The fact is that intelligence run in family. Good behavior run in family. Maths brain run in a family. Man, intelligence, good behavior, and all the other wonderful traits run in family. And so does worklessness, kleptomania, which mean just damn thief and can't help thief, and have a morbid tendency to rob, to shoot, to kill. And every evil you can think of, it also run in family. As I said, men and women need to be careful who they share body fluids with. You destined that child to be a dunce from the very day that you go lie with somebody who don't have no upstairs for learning. Sorry, but me just make it plain. Me say that plain. I repeat, you can't plant peas and get corn. Ladies, you cannot see sitting like this and dig out him hand niggle on roadside and you go share body fluids with him and breed. And then you expect to get this. You not go get this. You can't plant peas and get corn. And you might notice that I'm focusing more on the ladies than the men. And that's for a reason. Here is why. While it's for everybody, but here's the difference. When the man grind you and gone, you don't must see him again for the rest of your life. He's not pregnant. Can gone overseas. Can just hide you out for the rest of his life. You are stuck with the baby. You are stuck with any recalcitrant genes, any dirty, corrupted genes. And when you see the misbehavior and all the traits that come from the father, the picnic can turn a blasted target in your life. Turn your life into a living hell. Why? Because you're workless enough to share body fluids with somebody who, in other words, you ladies are to be blamed. You are the one, by choosing the wrong partner, has condemned your child to doing menial work and to never be a success in life. Because you folk the wrong man. You might not want to hear it, but me I go say it. You can't just want to make any little crabby man come just inject any charismatic genes in our body and make it develop into a baby and then expect say it all come out good. So you ladies, as me say, you have condemned your child to that stage. So it's not the child's fault, and it's not the teacher's fault, it's not the education system fault. The picnic not just have it in a them head just tough, them just bandons and I got stay so. They cannot be helped. Let me tell you something. You call out some name of some high school in the corporate area, which are what you call lad me done. This is where they fling picnic, we cannot learn, will never be able to learn, and the system just want to keep them in class until they leave school at 18 or 17. They are beyond hope. Of course, Pembroke Hall, where this survey was taking place, there's Edith Dalton James, Donald Quarry High, Vauxhall High, Norman Manley High, and of course, Penwood High. There are more, but I'll just give you those off the top of my head. If you don't want your picnic to end up at them school there, ladies, folk the right man. And now, it may look like I'm on my high horses and that I'm taking some moral high ground, but this is how I live my life, and I'm going to tell you plain. And listen to me, good people. I always tell you guys that I'm a father of 6 boys, and that they are the most exemplar kids in history. So, how did it happen? Because I was aware, say blood follow vein. Me didn't know, say you can't plant peas and get corn. Therefore, I did my best not to fault any woman who don't have certain attributes within her that I would want my child to have, or children to have. Yes, me particular like that. For example, let me tell you guys about my first 2 boys. Their mother. At the time I met her, she didn't have a degree. She didn't have 1 CXC nor 1 GCE. Much less for have CAPE or A levels. Because at the time, her parents could not afford to make she sit the exams. But she was a maths brain, a brilliant maths brain. And when I met her, I said, you know what? I want babies out of this woman. Why? Because I am no maths brain. I want my children to be mathematicians. And I never stopped harassing her until I knocked her up twice and got two beautiful sons. And they are maths brain. One is a computer engineer now. The other one is a geologist. Because me chose the right woman to carry my genes. Now, the same thing happened with my other kids. I chose their moms carefully because I wanted to give them the best start in life. And me never want to don't speak me. Some woman will look for pretty hair and brown skin and straight nose. I look at intellectual capacity. Plus, along with principles, etiquette, manners, dignity, pride, self-respect, ambition, and all those intangibles that really matters. What I'm trying to say, the best start you can give a child, the first best start you can give a child is to first of all find the right woman with the right genetic points that you can actually use to give your child a really great future. And before I go, I need to tell you something. A situation that I've met upon and how I had dealt with it. And it shows you just how stringent I am when it comes to the women that I share body fluids with. I remember a few years ago when I was newly single and I went on a dating app and I got contact with a number of ladies. And I remember one particular one that I kind of liked. She looked strong. I know me like strong woman. And I look at her and say, boy, face look good, body look good, you know. Say, boy, I would tap that ass. But of course, I was looking for more. Didn't want to use anybody. And I wasn't going to play the field. Even if I'm playing the field, I'm just going to play the field with women who are of a certain category. Like them are marriage material. And the conversation went on between us for a number of days, maybe 4 or 5 days. She would call me in the evenings, somewhere between the hours of, say, 6 to 7. And we would have conversed maybe sometime 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depends on what we had doing at the time. Now, after about 5 or so days, I think it's around 5 days, could be 4, could be 6, who is counting? I remember it was around 8 o'clock and I said to her, "There, I'm going to have to leave you now because I'm going to take my annual bath and go to my bed." So she said, "Okay." So I said, "Did you hear what I said?" She said, "Yes." I said, "What did I say?" "You said you're going to take your bath and go to your bed." I said, "No, that's not what I said. I said I'm going to take my annual bath and go to my bed." Again, she said, "Okay." Now, this was a bit puzzling to me. No, I wasn't trying to trap her or anything, because it's just one of those little phrases that I use more time to get a laugh out of the person I'm on the phone with. And I do it to anybody, all family members, and me pick me them and everybody. Them say me I take my annual. But when I realized that for the second time, she said, "Okay," I had to ask. I said, "Do you know what annual means?" She said, "No." At that time, I knew that I wasn't going any further with her. Because as far as I'm concerned, if she don't know what a regular everyday word like annual means, I'm quite sure we will never be able to communicate on anything other than the most basic level. I decided there and then that this person was not for me. Of course, I could have played her along, invite her over, because I was planning to invite her over the weekend, and cook for her. But from she said that, it just broke everything. Because here is what. I want somebody who I can communicate with. And if you don't know the word annual, what the word annual means, it is unlikely that you'll ever have a good communication ability. And the reason why I didn't invite her over, me to just take a 1 folk or a 2 folk and kick her to the curb. And that would not have been fair to her. So I simply decided that she was not for me. And I moved on. I wanted somebody more in my category. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying any woman if you have no big degree, have no big talent, and money and skill and everything. No, none of that not necessary. What I go for is intelligence. And you can have a grade 8 or grade 9 education and still be intelligent. As long as you read widely, watch the news, and develop an interest in what goes on across the world. The point I'm making is here, guys, and you ladies in particular, please, better you go have one night stand with an accountant, or one lecturer, or one university, or somebody who brainy. Even if him run left the picnic, I'm not own the picnic, at least you have good genes and grow up who is going to become a success in life. You cannot condemn your child to poverty by breeding for the wrong man. No, do it. So, thanks for watching. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to see what you have to say in the comment section.